junction. Visit.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of promise of death. The welcome and life without fear.
I live for
Master.
Les paris sous avec you, I can't Sktv-Lib. C'est ma chenille, tina ke ase ma yamu. Engi sano muni, emu aye yo. Engi lofa muni, emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I dine ya tumare, and a salia ya tumare, and a quantity ya tumare, and a quadruple ya tumare, and I dine ya tumare, and a salia ya tumare, and a quantity ya tumare, and a quadruple ya tumare, another Pagayarina ya tumare, Sktv, another Pagayarina, Tosi Wapa ya tumare.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lopa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lusa, from River Sass, River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombay, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all of you, our Sktv family members, our viewers, our supporters, and well, we just all of you. It's good to be back. Last Wednesday, which was on, in fact, last evening, we were here with you and we discussed a lot of things. We talk about the forward march of our society, our country, and so forth. And at least we were able to go through our 2 hours, concluded, and go home. And we wake up again by the grace of God. We're back on the farm. You know, this is the farm. We're back on the farm where other people are taking the crops. The crops, you know, the crops for the farmers. You know, the crops are for the farmers. And you see those other animals, especially those birds, and the other, you know, the groundhog and all these kind of animals, the way they can be eating the crops from the farm alone tells you that indeed they are not doing it the right way. That means they are criminal. Well, that criminal can behave in that way, man. But again, people, it's good to this holiday, having to be the 14th of May. For matter of fact, today is Unification Day. I don't know about you, but today is a beautiful holiday there from our end here in Liberia. And for a matter of fact, this day is set aside every year, May 14, to be celebrated as Unification Day in Liberia, to unify us, to put us together as people, to make us to be one group of people under one umbrella. And this day was passed into law in 1964. I don't know how many of you students out there that can still recall. So yes, in the Unification Day, it marks the day in 1964 when President William Shakara Tubman, in fact, you know, started the policy to bridge the gap between the coastal interior communities and bring the country together as one. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Chandra, indeed, Tubman, or whatever you are, Tubman. Thank you so much. So, folks, we here. Our team are already here with us, but Ali is already here, and Steve Bode, Babasti, Moses, just joining us, the social chairman. As you may be aware, every Thursday when the social chairman come here, then that means the show will be more interesting socially. So, chairman, good evening, Brother Ali. Good afternoon, good morning to all of you, and happy holiday from my end here in Liberia and to you all there in the US.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, Maybon. Good afternoon to our audience out there. Glad to be here this afternoon.
Well, folks, let's share the show. As you can see, the soldier chairman brought Red Cup on the show. That tells you that big border day. We're doing big things. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Let's share the show. As we speak now, there will be a lot of things going on. So let's share the show. The social chairman went and got himself a big Red Cup. Melbourne, be having Red Cup, man. We know that, they're going to be coming on the show with funny ones now, bring Red Cup. The social chairman get Red Cup now.
No, but you see, thank God that you're talking about this thing. So to tell you people how you and Madiko, you're running the system. So you get your Red Cup.
Maybon.
No wonder
Chairman.
How you talking to the chairman? You see it?
Chairman Agori, please make sure you buy Maybon record. You send it to me. Let me carry.
Thank you. Good.
Behave yourself. Behave. Effectively, immediately, put yourself together.
Ali, thank you for telling the chairman.
Chairman,
I will come down here.
Today,
we will show people.
The chairman already started the show. Wrap up, folks. Let's share the show. Also, big thing we'll discuss today. The chairman are big ball. The chairman are not funny man. I wrap up the chairman get. The chairman
Look, but I leave us swear, man.
Mebon, put yourself together. Don't bring noise on the show. Don't bring noise on the show yet.
Why? That's not one though, because the tickle listening today. Maybe the tickle listening.
That unification day today, so bring record to them, made the whole country unified. We're not on noise today. Let's share the show. That big boy you're already with you. The chairman he said, "Yeah, will be record." As people last night the record, you're not ready yet. They want to where I can see where I go to party and no small record. Funny minutes and we can't. You're not there with them. I bring record. You'll be fun. The chairman is on the show today with Red Cup, and that's how we'll do it for the rest of the year. Folks, let's share the show. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, to all the women. I just wanted to announce that you'll see the solidarity that we the men show you all the women. Check. Today the chairman rolling with Red Cup, man. You don't even check. The chairman a big ball. The chairman on to net with Red Cup. So all my body, you will get your Red Cup. You don't listen to nobody. You don't listen to those demon forces. Then you'll get your Red Cup. Don't listen to Melbourne. Melbourne, I see where man. Do not listen to Masale. If they don't support the Red Cup agenda, they're not serious minded group of people who move.
The Red Cup Association, eh?
Yeah, the chairman is sending a serious memo. Get a Red Cup. But having Red Cup does not mean like doing anything evil anyway. So, but anyway, let's share the show, folks. As always, the Liberian people are the most important people on earth. And the Liberian women are the most beautiful women. And Melbourne, next month will be Father's Day. You see how we're celebrating the women? You see how peacefully celebrating them? We're not 1 year, ping, next month. Any kind of insult towards us, ping, we'll give it back to your water. Just so you know. We're waiting for you. Next month,
we are celebrating them when our time comes, because one person has certain problem with our relationship, then they want to
generalize it. We're waiting for them.
That's the problem I have with them. Ali just said something. That's the issue for me I have with them personally. That the quote of all meant to be the same. No.
You don't worry. You know why you got a chairman yet? The chairman is saying openly, the women, we are celebrating you guys this month. Very peacefully. Y'all see men trying to take over? No. We're celebrating y'all. We respect y'all. We are healing y'all. We're thanking y'all.
And we're not even posting about
next month.
I don't know what kind of child had a banner child. All you can do, we're not posting that.
No more. Next month coming. Before let's share the show, the chairman here today. A lot of different things going on. From a social standpoint, we'll start with the ANC. Socially, we're going to start with the ANC. We are the big boys. We can discuss the thing when you're scared to discuss. See, you're passing around, scared to go around Mariah kids, ANC kids, or whatever it is. Let me say this first of all. No, but on the show we told y'all, and we told the Liberian people on the show. It is on the show we told the Liberian people that when you are married, there are two expectations. Either one of them will happen, or both of them will happen at some point in your life. Anytime you marry, cheating is one of the expectations. It will happen. I said, I just call your friend that people conversation will come in higher today. The second expectation for any marriage that divorce. Divorce is a normal thing. I told you, Jesus now divorce. In fact, Jesus wants for you to divorce. That's why your pastor can tell you. That's why your pastor can tell you God hate divorce and the Lord. That's scam. But let's work on more quickly before we go into it, because we're starting the social quick today. Yeah, the first man said, "Vit, Mark, welcome to the show."
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm happy. I mean, great to be here. Today's what, Thursday, right? Another
Yeah, Mom, sorry you and I ran earlier. I introduced the Red Cup on the show. The chairman is going to be coming to the show with Red Cup these days. The chairman step again up. You think I let make money? That funny money.
And then French business you like that because of speaking French now. Why carry some people somewhere? When you come here, don't be speaking your French to us because we
What I said to you, your president came by yesterday. He said Macron told him that he was coming to the country. Baga can understand French. So what Macron was speaking to him that Chinese. Let Baga go sit down somewhere. We discuss Baga. They don't worry about Baga. We discuss Joe Ball. But I get to the social issue. Say you're afraid of talking. I've said it, and I'll say again: the life that you're living until you die. There are two expectations. Two expectations. Anytime you marry, there are only two expectations in any marriage: cheating and divorce. Either both of them will happen at some point in your life, or one of them will happen, whether you like it or not. In fact, people don't wait for your approval for that. I think you're wasting your time passing around with Mariah. Oh, Mariah get divorced, and Mariah get sex tape, and she get the other video, she get that other video, she get the other one. Let me say this to you, Mariah, a big girl. Yeah, Mariah, let me say it to you today, Mariah, a big girl. And you know, I read what Mr. Cummings wrote. Let me say to Mr. Cummings, you need to wake up. You late to the game. But I like what you wrote. I appreciate what you wrote. You late to the game. We told you from day one, someone on the show, that the people that who making no, they got no moral. In the Liberian politics, you want to use morality, you're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. I like how you wrote and told them that you will support Mariah regardless. The time more Ali they were passing around with one leg get pregnant, and he tell the leg to take out the pregnancy. You ever saw Joseph Parker telling them to move Mo Ali from a position? You saw Mo Ali, you saw Joseph Parker doing anything? You heard Joseph Parker say anything? You heard Unity Party say anything? The guy who told the guy who the beamer for the IMO or IOM, the maritime, that guy with a cross eye, that funny looking guy with a cross eye. What you mean? That one was a total also on the internet. You hear Unity Party making no anyone they appointed him?
Robert Pale or who?
Robert Pale. Yeah, and the lightning signing there a cross arbor. That crook. They tell a total picture of us. Unity Party ever fire him. Unity Party a bunch of useless users. Nobody should listen to them. They're moral people. More Ali than who passing money over there, half naked. I don't want to talk. Jeremy Pierre who are alcoholic. The students will be discussing serial minded people. Students will be discussing serial minded people. All the losers who passing over there. United Party men who can pass around, all of them know each other, they love the same women. Those useless people and them will be discussing. United Party people not get no moral to discuss anybody. United Party people not get no moral. Even Joseph Parker not get moral. He's a liar. He's a liar. So he not get no moral to put him more on. You know, I will say the last thing and then we'll welcome Sekou to the show. We'll welcome Mr. Kanye to the show today. Let me say the last thing to you. Let me say this. Anything that comes with Unity Party people, and Mr. Cummings take on time to respond. I told you before, marry business, don't put your mouth in anybody business. What they not see each other naked. What if Mariah get divorced? She still married. What thing can say? Now what problem? We don't want her to go get married. And now we don't want her to get divorced or stay there. We don't care. The thing we care about is Joseph Boakai need to tell what in the Guinean state doing to our border. Joseph Boakai need to tell why the water, Joseph Boakai and Jeremiah Kun, why the water in the plastic bed that used to sell 2 for $5, why it gone to $10. One of them are $10. Those are the things the very important issues we'll be discussing. What does Mariah or Mary Bennett got to do with me? Or you got to do with the Labrampo? Who cares? We don't care. By the way, welcome Mr. Cannon. Mr. Cannon, welcome to the show. Today that big boarding show we're having. I bring record on the show now. We're doing for record now.
Hey, how you doing, man? How everybody doing?
Yeah, everybody miss you with a problem. Asking for you. They're calling me, asking. I think you're leaving, man.
I know. Yeah, so first of all, I want to say thank you to you guys, for keeping the show for the longest. I know Melbourne been getting a lot of calls, concerns. Where is Sekou? Where is Sekou? Where is Sekou? In fact, at some point, one called me, one said, my man, what happened? People say you abandoned the show.
Yeah.
I said, no, I cannot abandon. I said, I cannot abandon the show. But the only thing is that the people who've been holding the show, they've been doing great. Especially Melbourne, Mr. Masali and Mong. Me and Stevie off and on a little bit, but at least you guys have done a marvelous job, to keep the show going, like you have been doing. So we really, really appreciate that. I've been listening. Honestly, Liberia.
Mr. Cannon, you're coming in very bad.
Yeah, it's breaking up. I think it's
okay, maybe I need to change my Bluetooth. Can you hear?
Why you using
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I think that's the reason. Yeah,
Star network or second?
Man, that Motorola. Yeah, but can you guys hear me though?
Yeah, I think you gotta carry it.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so I was saying, when it comes to Liberia, actually, we must be concerned about the mindset of our people, whether people in government or those of us outside of government. The lack of priorities, the lack of focus.
Yep.
Is what making our country to go the way it's going right now. If you are outside of the government, you ask yourself, since this government took office to where we are now, what this government has achieved for the Liberian people that really, have some impact on your life, a positive impact. For me, the last time I checked is zero.
Yep.
And if you are government, you ask yourself, what have we done for these people? For these people that actually voted for us. Forget about the rest of the country. Those that voted for you, those that actually put their trust in you, they say, yeah, you can do it. And meet all the good people that were there, the commies, all the other good people that were there, that were available. He said, no, Joseph Boakai is the person to actually change this country for the better. Have you asked yourself whether or not you have done anything to change your life? Since this government took over Steve, Mong, and Melbourne, and everybody else listening to us, it's been about one corruption after another.
Yep.
And what they will do, once corruption surfaces, then they will go and devise a plan to distract the Liberian people from the corruption scandal. One after another, one after another, one after another. Every day, they are violating the Liberian constitution. And when the Liberian people try to look at it, then they will open some kind of funny scandal to make it look like, nobody's thinking. So for me personally, in as much as I blame the Liberian government for doing nothing, for lacking priorities, for lacking focus, to change the life of the Liberian people. I think the lion's share of the blame, personally, is with the Liberian people. Liberian people are not ready yet. Liberian people are not ready. I can tell you that for a fact. When they're ready, we'll know. This is the country where those who supported the sitting government will support anything that has to do with the government, good or bad. And those who did not support the government cannot unite for anything to stand against the government. Everything happened. You will not see them from one platform to another platform looking for breaking news. They will laugh with it and move to the next platform. All the breaking news being, given to them. What they do with it? Nothing. Everything that could make a country to go on a standstill had happened in Liberia. But guess what? They're looking for the next breaking news.
Yep.
So, I mean, sometimes I can feel like it's just a waste of our time. But again, if you look at the young people, you think about their future, you can't get tired fighting. You will say, well, maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But right now, the Liberian people are to be blamed for everything going on in our country. Because if you show people that you're not serious, if you show the people say you have no priorities, you care less about the future of your children, why would they care about it if you don't care? So that's the problem with Liberia. So Mariah thing, me, I don't even know exactly what happened with Mariah. Honestly speaking, I just saw people posting some stupidity, discussing non-issues. Where in the world people personal life got to do with our country to take over the entire conversation of our country?
Exactly.
Whether you're a government official, you're a politician, or you are this and that, or you are wasting our time. It's not important. That's our life. She can choose to do whatever she wants to do in her life. But to see the whole country, my man, Steve, the fact that Liberia was reduced to yellow machine.
Yeah.
A whole government reduced to yellow machine celebration. A whole government taking their time to celebrate little bosses. That tells me that this government is unstable. It has no focus, it has no plan, it has no priority for the Liberian people. But the Liberian people, it is up to us to see the need to stand up, to unite. Other than that, these guys are making themselves kings in Liberia. They want to stay in power forever. They will destroy anybody who attempt or who they see as a potential viable challenger against them. They will destroy you. No exception. And Liberian people are the one to make that, change. So thank you guys. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Monk, let hear from you. Masari, let hear from you quickly. Then we'll go to Monk.
Like we said yesterday, welcome, Mr. Kane. This whole Mariah issue, for me, I just see it like another distraction. Like Mr. Kane said, and you said the same thing, Steve. That's had nothing to do with us as citizens. That's her personal life. Whether she get divorced. I remember one time somebody told me that when you marry a woman who does not know about the street, who does not run the street, don't be surprised the day you catch her doing boyfriend business, because this is something that she didn't experience. Maybe somebody had told her, oh yes, and she went to experience it and then she got caught. So don't be surprised, like you said, cheating or divorce or all of these things it shouldn't be strange to people when they get married. Okay, when you get married, it's not something to say, oh, I can get divorced. So whether she get divorced, what happened, what not happened, that has nothing to do with us. All we want to know is how our country is moving, But if you get government officials that have nothing to do, these are things you should expect to see happening in the country. We get nothing to do with that. And again, still one time you said it on this show that the Unity Party will go after Mr. Kumi, George Weah, Musa Benete, and other people. So who knows? These are some of the things. Oh yeah, they get she for the ANC. She turned in our flag. Let's see how we can bring her down. But that's up to them. The only thing is for us, our focus is for the country to be rescued by Joseph Boakai. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Monk, what say you? Quickly before we go to AB and then we'll.
Well, I mean, it's been a long time since hearing from Mr. Connaughton got his back, or he just popping in today, but I think we have settled on the same conclusion. If you are in a democracy, it takes the will of the people to change your society. Individual don't change your country. The collective will of the people. The only thing different is the president, who's the one in charge. He just carrying the vision of the people, but he's not the one actually determining the fate of the entire nation. And in Liberia, I came to the conclusion a long time ago that our people, they are not ready for business. And they will show you every day. And Mr. Cannon said it right. Why would elected officials try to concentrate on the most important thing when the people themselves are not interested in the most important thing? And in politics, look, that's why I don't go with conventional belief in politics, because I know in politics, there is something about the one who is always being attacked the most. It's almost like in spirituality. If you don't have a clear and a shining future, the devil's not going to attack you. You are nobody. The one he see with the greatest potential are the one he put the most challenge in front of. And the same thing in politics. When you observe the Liberian political landscape over the past, like I say, close to 10 years, the one who they perceive to be having a whole different vision that could bring about some kind of a radical change to the country, that's the one they attack the most. Because let's take, for example, you say the Mariah situation. Mariah situation is a nobody situation. It's a regular thing. But Mariah is attached to some political leader. That's the true intent. They're not targeting her because of the act that she committed, because I don't even know the details of whatsoever. I guess so. Mariah name speculating on the social media and on talk shows. But she's attached to who? Cummings. Why you think chairmanability, the Cummings of the world, they get attacked the most? Because those are the candidates, they think that pose a systemic risk to the system that exists right now. So they will be attacked the most. Because you cannot tell me, say, oh, Gaga, one person election, and you focus all your energy on him. He becomes the first line of target the moment you talk about politics. Who does that? But like I said, it tells you something more. And it's up to the voters themselves. The day the Liberian people get serious for business, their behaviors and their action will tell you. Until then, this particular system will remain in place in perpetuity. That's all I can say. And I think Mr. Kahneman said we agree on this wholeheartedly, 100%. The Liberian people are not ready to make progress, because when they do, you will see it. You will hear it from the taxi driver, the keke rider. You will hear in the marketplaces that they are ready to do something differently. But until then, the status quo continue. Welcome, baby. Oh God.
Good evening to good afternoon to you guys, man. Listen, let me just walk away a little bit real quickly about me. You know, we talk about Mariah, but again, good to see Sekou on today, my man. Sekou just abandoned all now because you brought her on ceremoniously.
I am back.
You hired us
I am back,
unceremoniously,
brother.
so then you run away from us. But listen,
No, I am
guys,
back,
it's great
Chief.
to
I
be
am
here,
back.
man. Okay, great. You know, we talked about this Mariah situation yesterday. This is a complete distraction. You guys need to understand the politics of Unity Party right now. Whenever they are in some serious doodle, they manufacture these things for distraction. They don't want you to delve into their shortcomings. Pray tell me, when you establish a situation and the cause of that situation is faulty, immediately Mr. Cummings told you that Mariah would never dismiss and he had not hired anybody. That in itself should render that whole thing completely moot and irrelevant. It's all fabricated stories. I don't want to know anything about Mariah's personal life. Whether she and the husband, whatever they're doing, that's their personal life. Okay? They could get married the day they decide they want to divorce today. It's nobody's business. What is everybody's business is the national concern, the plight of the people. And no Mariah stand on issues. She's very vocal. She speaks to the facts. She's not fabricating stories. She's telling you the plight of the people. And she's holding them accountable. So anybody that hold this government and its apparatus accountable, they come after you viciously. They try to diminish you. They try to malign you, and they try to destroy your character. That's it. So I'm not going to buy into that thing, that shenanigan. And you guys shouldn't even fall for it because that's what they want you to discuss as compared to the water shortage in the country and everything else, guys. So I will not fall for that thing. Immediately when Mr. Cummings and then Horatio Gu reacted to that thing, that indeed there was no appointment of a new CEO. By the way, even the very Mariah, months ago, she stated that she was no longer chief of staff of Mr. Cummings. She played different role. So for them to come out with talking about they dismiss her, guys, that's not true. I'm not going to buy into that thing. This is a reputable woman that have put her integrity on the line, and she stands for, she's a principled person. You might differ with her politics, but this girl, this lady, you not waste her time to be educated, to be a pariah person in the society. She's reputable, and you should hold her accountable in that direction. So I don't buy into this thing. And these people, that's their mode of operandi. That's how they operate, guys. I just want to point that out real quick.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Brother AB and Mr. Kane. Also, let me join the rest of the other panelists and say yes, indeed, good evening and welcome. I've been a little while now because I have received a lot of calls, messages, and so forth. And sometimes we have to, yes, in fact, because when people are really into you, no matter what you tell them, they will find their own way of saying whatever thing they want to say. Oh, the man, whether the man come every time you keep giving us all the kind of encouragement are very soon, very soon. But at long last, Mr. Cullen is here with us. So I don't know. Since Mr. Cullen is here this evening, I think we have a lot of panelists here also that will be joining us. I'm seeing Mr. Dishu, I'm seeing Brother Lofa Julius also here with us. So we will do it like this, even though Mr. Cullen is a little bit busy. So I will still be in control until Steve come back because Steve go for some kind of a break. But again, that welcome Lofa Julius. I don't know whether he's set and ready. That Mr. Tishu. Then we'll continue with the conversation about all of the happening back home. When it comes to the bread and butter, we still continue today. It's holiday, unification day. We don't know how come we are heavily divided. How come Liberia is now turning into a divided country? But again, Lofa Julia, good evening and welcome. I guess you are fresh and ready. Lofa Julia. All right, Mr. Tishu, are you there? Mr. Tishu?
Yes, I'm here in Melbourne, and I will say hi to Aliu, Brazilian Monk, Abraham, my friend Abraham, Lofa Genius, and to the listening public. I will say welcome, Mr. Sekou. Welcome back home.
Thank you.
Welcome back home. It was through your inspiration since you left, I decided to become Mr. Zipper Mouth because
thank you, Steve.
I've been a close one just sending messages to you, but it's about time that we all wake up together and come out as a team to spread the message that is well needed for the Liberian people. But like you said, all of the messages that we're giving, we hope that the Liberian people will be proactive into what we're doing. And because that will give some kind of positive effect into their well-being. But if they have not realized yet that we are talking on their behalf, and they should be very proactive on these things, the obvious situations and things that we're giving to them, then I think it becomes a problem, and we should talk about how we're going to get into their mindset. So until the show goes on, I'll be here willing to participate and give my best options and opinion on issues. Thank you.
Great. Lofa.
Yes, sir.
But they're better welcome. What's say you everything, man? You just been
Hi.
fired in the free time though on the social media. But anyway, welcome to SKTV.
Thank you, Milborn, and to everybody else on here. Aliyu Masale, Melvin Dashi, Abraham Cornan, and of course Brazilian Monk, and then of course the CEO himself, Sekou. Great to be on here. I'm not a stranger to SKTV. For a lot of you who probably follow it, I'm not a stranger. Been here before, been here multiple times, and will often come on here when there's a need to. But I think there are some critical issues that are being ignored, and the government known for being very good at what they do. That is nothing but propaganda with the mindset that they can easily just cover up the reality on ground, think that they can get away with it. And I felt the need to come on here today, and I'm glad that you are accepted me to be a part of today's conversation, where I feel like there are a whole lot of things that could be unpacked, and the people deserve to know these things instead of having to focus on trivial issues that have no impact on the lives of Liberian. I think there are a lot of things that we need to be focused on and asking for results. What's going on with the border crisis? What's going on with the price of water? Milpon, you in Liberia. What's going on with the price of rice? What's going on with job opportunities, with security, healthcare? Those are the questions we want to answer. We don't want to hear about nobody else's personal life, but we'll get into that as we get through. I just thought to say thank you all for allowing me to be a part of it.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Dishu. So let's start up with the holiday, Unification Day, Mr. Kane. Thank God that you're here among and that of Brother Ali and the rest of the team. Mr. Kane, we are heavily divided, and we have one of the oldest son of Liberia having to be president. But I think we're going nearly 3 years now into his government or his governance, and we are still divided. And even today, the holiday today look very sick, weak, and very poor. No program, nothing. Where are we heading, Mr. Kane? What say you with the holiday and Unification Day? How come we are heavily divided?
Yeah, Mabel, again, I want to say thank you to my colleagues here, my brothers. Hopefully, some of the sisters will join back. Dufa Julius is right. He's not a stranger to this platform. He's always here, and we really appreciate his, continuous contribution to SKTV and the Liberian society as a whole. Melbourne, we have the divisionist in chief as our president, the divider in chief as our president, a person who is a tribalist, a divisionist, someone who cares less about the future of our country. This is a man who told the Liberian people that we will not have a country if he doesn't win the election. But yet he's sending down Sopanle, allowing his group of gangs going to illegally remove somebody from their position who speaks his mind on a given issue as it relates to the borders between Guinea and Liberia. To our listening audience, let me just give you a story pertaining to that border issue. Remember, President Joseph Nima Boakai and President Madabio, they went to Guinea to discuss this whole issue because it has something to do with Mano River Union, gathering involving Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. They want to discuss this. We were not privileged to the conversation directly, but yet the report came out. A Guinean media that were privileged to that particular process came and publicly announced to the Guinean people and the world at large as to what really transpired in that meeting between the three presidents. And they were emphatically clear. He announced the information saying that somebody sent it to me, it was in French. I can understand French, I can speak and write French. So I know exactly what they were saying. So the guy stated that the president of Guinea had a meeting with president of Liberia and that of Sierra Leone, and he was sharing the video of their meeting. He said the president of Guinea was very emphatic, was very clear to inform his counterparts, to inform Liberian president that the river in question belongs to Guinea. And he was very clear. He brought about some historical to support what he was saying. He said that the Guinean president informed Liberian president that there was a treaty in France way before the birth of Joseph Jima Boakai and all of us, that something that Mon talked about here before when the whole saga started. Mon went and did the research and talked about that, but that since it was re-echoed by the Guinean media explaining as to what happened in the meeting between Joseph Jima Boakai, Madabio, and Dumbuya, that both presidents agree to the deliberation of the Guinean president, and they accepted that the place belonged to Guinea. That's why, up to where we are, because Joseph Boakai and Madabio all agree that the place belongs to Guinea, that's why up to this point, Guinean people are in the place. So before fighting Yeke Koluba to remove him, creating more problem in our country, bringing more disunity in our country as opposed to bringing reconciliation. What is Joseph Boakai's message to the people of Liberia as to what happened, as to what was reported by Guinea? Guinea said that Joseph Boakai agreed that it belongs to them. Joseph Boakai, Yeke Koluba has been removed for saying that the place belongs to Guinea. So now, Joseph Boakai, who is the president, what is his message? What Joseph Boakai has to tell to the Liberian people? Say, well, when I went to Guinea, we had a meeting, and this is the outcome, and the play belongs to Liberia, or the play belongs to Guinea. What is the message from Joseph Jima Boakai? Now, can Joseph Jima Boakai deny the report from Guinea that he accepted and agreed that the play belonged to Guinea? If Joseph Boakai denied, or if Joseph Boakai agreed that the play belonged to Guinea, so should we remove Joseph Boakai as well? Would that be a betrayal? Would that be considered as a betrayal of the Liberian people? Would that be considered as treasonous behavior? Or somebody siding with another country against your own country? So if Joseph Boakai accepted and agreed that the play belongs to Guinea, why should we have to remove Yeke Koluba? So if it comes to unity, trust me, that's not in the playbook of Joseph Jima Boakai. Everything about the President Boakai is about what in it for him personally. And he cares less what becomes the future of Liberia, and he cares less about what his things are doing. As long as Joseph Jima Boakai getting his money. Amidst all the chaos in the country, what have you heard from this president? From the illegal removal of the sitting speaker of the chief. You talking about unity? Is that how you unite a country? What become the future of those people that elected Yeke Koluba? You know how the people are angry right now in District 10? So there's nothing like a unity right now in the country. People are furious, people are tired, people are hungry, and we haven't reached the halfway of their term. This is the third year. But believe me, Melbourne, there's nothing like a unity, nothing to celebrate about unification. When the president himself is divided in chief.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Cannon. Let's move. Monk, you want to keep it before okay, yeah, but go ahead, Monk.
Yeah, for me, I hate repeating myself, and I don't engage in what I call fancy lecture. That's why we got research. For me, I can check a lot. I double check almost everything. I don't know whether it's a bad or a good habit, but it's just a habit of mine. When this story came up, I told folks, I said, when it comes to information on Liberia, there's no university or not even the Library of Congress. Indiana State University has the most comprehensive history of Liberia in any way, shape, or form. I went over there. I was able to get the original map. We went to 3 international meetings or summit before we came out to a treaty signed document, 1896 or 1907. The final one was 1911. I told him, I said, that land belongs to Guinea. The original boundary was on the banks of the river, onto the Liberian side of the border. If you got dispute between 3 countries, the Sierra Leoneans just made a concession that they went 1.3 kilometers into the Guinean territory, which is 3.6 miles by actual calculation, English conversion. If Guinea is going to occupy the land and host their flag on Liberian territory, why it tells you, you are yet to get any briefing from your commander-in-chief. That's why I told him, I said, the only person that I know that committed a crime or conspiracy, treason, and sedition is Joseph Nyema Boaka. Yeke Koluba never took the oath of office to defend Liberia from domestic and foreign invasion. He only took an oath to protect the Constitution. There are only one man in the whole republic laid for a right hand to protect the country from domestic international threat, that's Joseph Nyema Boaka. So if Joseph Nyema Boaka cannot give an update or comprehensive independent investigation as to what happened, then who you think committed the crime? He made concession in Guinea. He's not willing to tell us what happened. Yeke Koluba only told us why Joseph Boaka is afraid to tell the Liberian people. But like Sekou said, the country own people, they are not interested in the country making progress. They are not ready for prompt time. They don't want something good happening in that country. So instead, what happened? They switched the knife to Yeke Koluba and ignore the men that committed a crime in broad daylight. So I don't know. When you want to talk about unification, because the whole idea of the unification was about national cohesion, peace, and integration, trying to put the indigenous and the American Liberian together. I know we have not been a perfect society, but we are worse off than any time in history, and it only keep getting worse. Remember, Yeke Koluba was elected just like Joseph Nyema Boaka. Do you know what it takes to just remove a certain elected official? It's almost like a constitutional violation. So the last time I checked, only the president keep violating and abusing the law every day in Liberia. But when you know that people are not serious, when you know a bunch of useless people in the country, the men who happen to be the most vocal advocate because of politics, some of them turn against him. Ignoring the threat to the country, national security threat. Remember, you watch news every day, every update, whether you let the president or not, whether it's on social media, whether it's on Twitter, any media platform, they give you update. You got a president who keeps quiet, even though the country that he's from originally is under a national security threat. He could care less because he knows the people in the country, the vast majority, they could care less. So until our people change their behavior, then leaders will change the way how they do business. Until then, my brother will be here talking for now to eternity. They're never going to change.
Just a second, maybe I want to say this before you go to the next person. Just to add to what Mon just said. Do you remember when the villa in Foya, when Foya villa business issue came out, and the president told the Liberian people that place belonged to Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Ivory Coast and Liberia. In fact, the people who are building the place, you're not the one. He has no clue. If
Yeah.
a president can say he got no idea as to who is building a villa in the country, he said that place belong to Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Ivory Coast. Ego, why will you go and remove a certain elected official of government, a house from the House of Representatives?
Think he got
Yeah,
disconnected.
Mr. Connor, I feel your I think
Network
I
probably
don't know
went
whether
out.
it's a Bluetooth or whatsoever thing that you have on, but it's muted. But again, yeah, but Julius, you can go ahead and respond to the unification day, and maybe you also want to add up to what Mr. Connor and other monk said.
All right. So Mayborn again and everybody else on here, thank you all for the opportunity. Speaking of unification, I think he who speak of equity should come with clean hands. I want to start, and I'm glad that my brother Aliyu is on here, and I want to address a statement that was made, and I will just go directly into that. A few days ago, I listened to Aliyu supported the idea of a barbaric act that took place in Liberia. I want to say we should be very cognizant of the fact that we represent the the population that we speak to every day. If we speak of unification, we should understand that we represent those very women or girls who are often, walking on the very streets. And we own no rights to their body to dictate to them as to how they carry themselves or what they clothe themselves with. So I just want to say, as part of the Unification Day message, I want to say to my brother, Aliyu, that idea of, even offering to financially support a barbaric act should not be something we should consider in these modern dispensation. It is against what we believe coming from a father and of course a brother and a son. I think that decision on your part, hopefully you misspoke. I think you're a very intelligent young man, and I think you probably will reconsider that decision because our sisters deserve to be respected and treated better. Now, back to this issue of President Boykai and his contribution. Come on, man. I don't know who in their right mind ever thought that President Boykai would be able to unite Liberia from the get go. If you are to just go back a little bit into 2023 and previous years before, some of us made these announcements. President Boykai is incapacitated, right? He cannot unite Liberia. He has never been a unifier. If you are to follow trends of his involvement, let's go back to the Unity Party when Madame Sharif left. What happened under President Boykai's stewardship? Then let's talk about under the CPP, under President Boykai's stewardship, and everything else. And currently, under his leadership, what's happening? The entire country is almost like it's chaos. Nothing is really happening. I am yet to hear of President Boykai inviting all stakeholders, hopefully permanent members of society, such as political leaders, to sit at the table and hopefully engage them, asking them, what is it that you see that we can do differently so that we can empower the generation to come or those who are currently in need? You're not hearing that. All we hear are divisive rhetorics and even more condescending towards those who may have opposing views. Embarrassingly, permanent members of government, that would be you talking from the information ministry, who will openly come on various platforms and spew out nothing but insults. It's embarrassing. And I guess one thing we continue to forget is that the rest of the world is evolving. They're moving forward. They're moving forward progressively. They're doing things that is in the best interest of their citizens. They are trying to be much more patriotic. Right now in the United States, okay, there are a group of Black Americans who have now labeled themselves as FBA, okay? They call themselves the foundational Black American. They want nothing to do with African. They're claiming that Africans are not from the United States. If you're from Ghana, Nigeria, Africa, do your research on them. They're literally saying they're opposing of these people. Reason why we cannot stand up to them is because leaders like President Boakai and other leaders on the continent who have refused to invest in young people so that they can see reason to stay in their own country or in their own continent. These things will continue to happen. Look at South Africa today. South African, of all countries in the world, they are now running after Nigerian and other nationalities. Okay? And when you speak to most South African, as of recent, I have been participating on a lot of these international or discussion on TikTok, trying to get people thought on why are they doing this. South African are saying openly, their mindset is just what they think, that no other African should be in South Africa because they're taken away. Now, whether that is true, I think that is cowardly, that is myopic in so many ways. But I think that President Boakai and other people who lived of government, at this point in his life, will see reason to invest in the future, see reason to create opportunity for young people. Today, if you are to look at the stats, statistically, job opportunity is nowhere to be found. Security-wise, we are literally dropping. Healthcare, quality of education, nothing. And that's part of the reason why we are saying to all of us, let us see reason to elect permanent Liberians who understand the global community. And I close on this note. Folks will say, I'm not here to run no campaign, but when you're sitting today, like today as we speak, the African CEO Forum that is being held in Kigali, the likes of Mr. Alexander Cummings and other people are participating. They're listening to how the world economy works and how things can actually be impacted. These are the kind of people we sat down and allowed an elderly man who sat for 6 years doing nothing, going from one bank to the other to ask for loan. And then we not only gave him another job, but we actually promoted him. And you expect something different, unification? Say division instead of unification. I stop at that note.
Wonderful. Thank you. But I leave them, Mr. Tishu will just conclude with us. Then, then we'll move on.
Yeah, thank you to all the panelists on the show. And thank you there to Lufa Julius. You know, that day when we were having the conversation, you were in the comment section. But like you said, no problem. You know, we here, we learn from one another. And I like what you did. Sometimes when somebody says something, be bold and tell them how you feel and whether it is good or bad. So what you say, I listen to you. And it is what it is today, Unification Day. I take your advice. Thank you. And to the issue about Unification Day today, we talk about reconciliation. Like Lofa said, and everybody always says this, President Boakai had never been on the record of unifying people. All the places he went, every group that he joined, every organization, anywhere he went, he became member. The moment he get there, that place is divided. That's the kind of person he is. And sometimes people will say, oh, the man, he's old and this and that and what have you. Like his vice president said, he bring his journey down, all of these things. But everybody that President Boakai is working with today in his administration, in my mind, and I believe that President Boakai, he been in government more than all of these people. He had the experience. And you know how it is to have a divided country and how it is to have a unified country, how it's going to be. And when I listened to Sheikh Kuyate, the ambassador at large last week, when he said one of the challenges of President Boakai administration is the failure to reconcile the country. So he went to Magdala Kopot, who is the political advisor to President Boakai, and according to him, the only thing she could tell him was they wouldn't make a plan to see how they can meet Madame Sktv to reconcile with her. Why about all the other political leaders in the country? You see, And this is something President Baka worked with Madam Sedi for 12 years when she became president. She was able to call all opposition leader elections are over. This is time to govern. Let's see how we can run this country. We call one another names during election, but it is over now. And you work with Madam Sedi. 12 years you saw her doing that. When the footballer came, he became president. He did the same thing. He called everybody, but Baka didn't even attend that call. When we are called them, he said he was going on a fan to Lofa. When we are called for them to sit down and see how they can have discussion to reconcile the country, to see how they can move on, he didn't attend. And today, I think since Baka took over, this is, I think, the third unification now, 2024, 2025, 2026. And all those political leaders, one day you sit down to call them to say, oh yes, that's what everyone who is legally minded and guided as a leader, when you take over, your first responsibility is to what? Reconcile the country. But if I would say, oh yeah, during the election, I call Lufa Junior this other name, I call Monk this other name, they call me this other name, so I'm going to keep it at heart, and then because they call me names, no. You have to call everybody. Everybody want a position. You will say things about your friend. But when you win, put everything behind you and put the interests of the country first. So that is it. Everybody know Mr. Baka. He's not a reconciler. He's not on the record for that. And I will always tell people, be a CDC, ANC, what kind of political party you from, let's reconcile with one another and let it go. If we say, oh, because the way they treat our political leaders, we don't want to see people from Monkiam, I would not want to see people from Mr. Dishukiam because they have, or the president, they are, then we'll not be going anywhere because the leader we get, he's not a reconciler. Let's reconcile with one another, let's move on, and let leave Mr. Baka and his peers. Anything they want to do is up to them. Thank you.
Thank you, wonderful. So that moves to Mr. Dishu then. But it be Mr. Dishu, Liberians are yelling for unity, but the leadership or our leaders, they are not willing for any kind of reconciliation very soon. They will, even with our politicians, they want the country to be more divided, even so that they can use that means maybe to get political power or so forth. But what say you?
Well, I listened to all the panelists, and each and every one of them gave a passionate view of how they feel about Liberia. You can tell that every one of them have love for Liberia and they want to change. They want transformation. But the problem that we are having is that the leadership and the complete structure of our government. I will always come from the point that all of what Sekou said, all of what Lofa Jr. said, Abraham, Aliu, all are symptoms because each one of them gave indication of things that are happening in Liberia. So these are the symptoms and indicators of a failed state. So we are talking about a country that has sold itself. I have not heard from any one of you telling the Liberian people that they're living into a country that they were only born into, but they don't own nothing there. They control nothing. They are being dictated to. Now, this is a very, very serious problem, and I think we should have a whole day of discussing it because I believe Liberia have nothing left. We have sold the fishery, the sea water to the Chinese. The gold and diamond business, we can't discuss it no more. We see it vividly how much money coming out of that and how the people are suffering and how the very few that go into the concession agreement get profited from it. So only very few people and the masses are out. We see that the latest thing, ministry, a whole ministry that have been established for so many years have been given to foreigners. Latest news of our ID card given to foreigners. Where are we in our own country? What part do we own? That's why I still stressing the point of a failed state, and we're living into a country that is not ours. The only thing we have there is our birthright. So this is a very, very serious issue. If our country don't have the leader and a leader that had given sovereignty, that has sold even our sovereignty out to our neighboring country, and telling us lies that in 3 months, they gone 2 months past, the diplomatic thing have not come out, the government have not come to the Liberian people, and I explained nothing to them. The reason is that the real issue of what happened on that particular site is what the Liberian people don't, what the government don't want to tell Liberian people. When SKD started to talk about this, and Monk, when he did his research, I did some research and I came up, not only with research, I came up with that our part of that particular area, because I used that area 2 times to go to Conakry. We bought a used car in Liberia and we wanted to carry it to Guinea to be using it there. And that particular river, we had to cross it to get into Kissidu. From Kissidu to Kekedu. From Kekedu to Mamu. From Mamu down to Labe. Then you take the road from Labe to go down to Conakry. So this is a place I had experienced. And during that time, it was never a thought of mining, a thought of any kind of confusion, because the boat people were living, the family people, it was a big trading area. Well, when you put your car on a raft and carry it to the Guinea side, you pay. But on the Liberian side, when you put your car there, you pay. So it was a business that they understood. The problem is that in quite recent time, the people had discovered that the Liberian people, some had discovered that area was good for mining. And they went and they started to do mining there. This is what the government don't want to tell the Liberian people. That mining business is what has caused a particular problem, because when we were passing, there was no mining business. There were only trade between the 2 groups of people. But when the mining business came out, and the people have realized that a lot of profit is coming from their land, having a company from China that had paid up to about $2 billion to invest into Guinea mining industry. Probably they had detected it and told the government, look, we pay all this money here and we got one of those areas there that other people are using. So all of these things could have brought out what we see as the confusion, and the government not going to tell us the truth because the nepotism within the setting of what is actually happening. There's some family relationship, as we heard, allegation, and there's something that is happening, but we'll never hear the truth. All the way we're forcing the government, they're going up to 2 months. We have never heard anything. So that's what I have to say at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dishu. Brother Abi, what say you with the unification day? From all indications, Liberians are frustrated because this day was set aside at least so that we'll be able to have peace, reconciliation, unity, some programs, playing football, some fun and so forth. Like, I can say we call during the peace a call, or after the war, when the call for ceasefire, time for peace, I saw Liberians, gathering up in the streets, celebrating, hugging each other, and so forth. But it's like the true intent of the entire day has been abused by us as people, and maybe may his soul rest in peace. The former president, William V.S. Tubman, may be regretting by this time, but I brought this day so that our people can be more connected than ever before. But how come they are more divided?
Well, maybe again, let me commend all of the panelists, Lofa, and then Brother Dishi, and my dear brother Aliyu, and then Mom. This is a fascinating topic, guys. But when you have a leadership that they are not prioritizing their priorities, this is what you get. Lofa mentioned a situation about South Africa. Back in the days, monks, many a times when we come here, we're referencing some of those things that at least while being a young man or so, and you manage to see in your country. And you see those things are not repeating themselves positively. it becomes troublesome. You know, when you had the President Totman, the Talbot, and all those people, they were like regional power brokers every time. They used to reach out to their colleagues in the sub-region and in the region to try to reconcile a lot of those things so that people could coexist despite the fact they were from different countries. President Talbot was very instrumental in a lot of those countries that you see got independence today. He reached out to the point that he even used to bring South African people that, how to call it, like Miriam Makeba and some of those Pan-Africanists, they were even bearing Liberian passport. That's how much the people reach out to bring some peace and harmony. But when they have leaders that are not taking those initiatives, if they see people see you as divisive, the idea is they're going to capitalize on it, and other countries will start to fight it. Even Ghana, Nigeria, and other places to get conflict, sometimes they will call on the president to intercede positively. But this is not the case. You don't have a president that is willing to reach out, even in his own country, at least to talk about to reconcile the sub-region. It's unfortunate, and sometimes people take it out of context. It's, oh, you beat it on this government too high. But pray tell me, guys, you have had an election, a contentious election for that matter. And even the very, forget about the George Weah, even the very opposition black. Can you set a scenario where this government even called for an opposition meetings to have some conversation about the forward march of this country? That's not the case. The country is heavily divided. And besides, Mabel, consciously speaking, you had an election that you wanted less than 20,000 votes or so, whatever range you want to put it in. That it should indicate to you that your country is evenly divided. That should indicate to you you should be in a position to reach across the aisle to other people. Speak to the nation. Speak to your people. Have an outreach. But that's not the case yet. You have had 3 Unification Day programs. Where is the former Unification Day program? You never had that. You had an armed forces day where the president one day he got on a pickup and then he drove around with the people and so they went home. But you got Unification Day that even the youngest kid in our country know that the country has something, a problem that has to do with unifications. Maybe just imagine somebody to the like of one Samuel Nangbe that worked in the government. The other time when George Weah was trying to rebury his father, and Amara Connick took an invitation to go to that day. That guy came on the Facebook on his page to write, he said he's no longer with us, so we're going to treat you as such. Meaning to say why Amara will honor an invitation from George Weah to go for his father rebellion. And this is an older guy, a guy that I see him, that he's supposed to, but because they see the leadership that they are serving is not willing to extend those kind of hands. Maybe Yake Koliba stood by Joseph Wakai through thick and thin to the point that he made him president. Yake mother died in Monrovia. Joseph could not even take a phone to call this man to tell him, hello, from my understanding. This to talk about even anybody from his inner circle to even visit with him despite the fact of the political differences. But this man's mother died right on Oro there in Monrovia. They couldn't even speak to him. And then I saw somebody talking about this other time. Say, this guy here, how to call the guy, Charlie Major died. Why is CDC do the season 2? But you, a man that fought for you, his mother died. You couldn't even speak to him. That's how much divisive this leadership is. It's unfortunate that the meaning of unification is irrelevant right now. Maybe these are under this Joseph Boakai, maybe they should just suspend the celebration of Unification Day until it's turning over because it has no bearing on the country right now. And lastly, to close up on the situation at the border, maybe you have a president that, because of inner cycles and tribal men are connected to a scenario, they're not going to the merit of the case. They have not been penalized for anything. They are the one that mining the water over there. They have not been penalized for anything. They put you under the guys for 3 months now going that indeed there was an investigation. Where is the findings of the investigation? Those people, Yimane is still working. The guy that got a contractor over there, he's still working over there. And nothing happened. And for you to sit there, you see this man have morals. You said that you didn't know about bill of $10 million. If you knew it, you're going to stop it. But it's been constructive. What have you done? And I see people masquerading around talking about the investigating corruption. When you got a broad day corruption going on currently, very active corruption going on, and you cannot even bring anybody for investigation, at least to even talk about a hearing. Guys, man, we are wasting our time. But it's great to be
Wonderful.
here.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So let's move back to Lofa Julius. Lofa, the president, is back after all of his visitation around the world. Mind you, though, we've been faced with the border crisis at I think 2 to 3 months ago now, and our president still saying to us, or in fact the government, that they are handling the situation diplomatically. But from our indication, we aren't getting. In fact, there's no communication coming out to the public, no information about where are we when it comes to the border. How come the president going here and there and we don't get any information? Where are we? Should we not forget about the border, maybe the border situation, or maybe the border noise, and say, okay, yes, I think that place, let's give it out.
So Mibon, here's how I see it: the level of disrespect, and I want to commend my brother Abraham Corning, right, for highlighting that part. It appears to me that government after government don't have any respect for the people of Liberia. You will think that this government will be cognizant of the fact that the people must be informed, regardless of what information is provided. The people must be notified. What's going on at the border? Because we have citizens out there. But this government in herself is so don't care. They do not care about how you think about their performance, not how I think about their performance. For that reason, they ignore it with the mindset. They will talk about it for 2 days and it will die down. Because that is how often we have done things. We have not consistently maintained the pressure on governments after the other to make sure that, hey, what we need done is done. I'm surprised that even the border issue is still being discussed. I am really surprised that we are still discussing that. I'm surprised that we are not focusing on something mediocre that had no bearing on the growth and success of the nation. How many times have you heard President Boykai take to, whether it's a social media platform or any of the radio station, and speak to Liberian, including the information ministry? But guess what? Gave one political leader the opportunity to address some of their failures. Daniel Sandel or Jeremy Pierre would take to that platform to spew insults because they feel like there's nothing they can do. It's like you have a child who is literally against the wall. That child have no idea how to get away, and you're bigger than him or her. They simply just cave in and start crying. Can you just leave me alone, please? I didn't do anything. That is the kind of thing that we're getting from this government right now. Nothing to provide. I don't expect any report unless the pressure continues to mount where the people of Lofa County, and let me be very clear about this. When the people of Lofa County start to march from Lofa County to Monrovia, the same way Boykai claimed, President Boykai, to be correct, respectfully, President Boykai claimed to have walked from Lofa to Monrovia. When the people start to walk in protest to make sure that they do something about what is going on over there, then maybe we will see something serious. Other than that, these men and women are bluffing. They have nothing to provide you. At the end of the day, we will get nothing out of it. And that's part of the reason why I said Yeke Koluba, in his consistency, while I may disagree with his style of deliberation, I still feel like they targeted Yeke because they felt like he knew something that they did not want the public to know. And the best way to silence him was to get him out of there, because financially he probably would have been hampered, but I don't think it helped.
Wonderful. Thank you. Mark, what say you, my dear brother? I know sometimes some of us back home have been waiting, wishing, and, been patiently, in fact, waiting for our president to come, and if for some of the international trips, and tell us that, yeah, indeed, I was able to interact with the other president, and maybe we are on course when it comes to the Guinea Bola, or in fact, when it comes to the Bola situation. We are on course, but we didn't get anything. Nobody talking to us, and it's like, let's just forget it now and just live with it. On this day, or in fact, the unification day, even there should be a message coming to the people, especially the people of Lofa.
Maybe I'm not going to. I'm going to repeat the whole idea that elected officials doesn't have respect for the people. No, the people don't respect themselves. I don't know why we keep twisting it and doing the opposite. It's the reality. The voters don't have regard for themselves. They don't have love for country. They don't have respect for the country. So based on the voters' activity, that's how elected officials operate, because it's the voter that make you an elected official. It's almost like you are the bosses and they are the servant. If the people who are supposed to be the bosses cannot tell you the direction of the country, why should the servant play to the tune, the opposite of the voter wishes? Let me tell you something. Joseph Boakai is not the originator of the source of division in Liberia. The only difference is it had gotten worse on his watch. Let me tell you something. Every country that went through some kind of a political crisis or political upheaval, the one thing they did was to seek closure after conflict. Sierra Leone did it, Rwanda did it. The War and Economic Crimes Code is the first step in reconciliation. When you give people justice, it's a form of reconciliation. Economic prosperity is how you bring people together. When the economy is doing better, people become happier. They try to collaborate and do things together. It's not happening in Liberia. Matter of fact, the War and Economic Crimes Code is almost like a laughing stock. People use it as political football to get into elected office. How many years it have been? It have been decades. And we cannot even seek a closure on War and Economic Crimes Code. The second thing, they are talking, we need cohort evidences when it comes to corruption. But they will tell you that sanctioned criminals are worthy to be elected officials, even though they were sanctioned before electing them. So the country is not a serious place to be. Forget about the elected official. Okay, they are the easiest target. We can blame them for all we care. But at the end of the day, look at the people in the country itself. Can you imagine, right? I was reading something on the U.S. State Department when it comes to putting sanctions. The U.S. government will spend any money beyond all reasonable doubt to come up with an evidence in order to label someone as sanctioned criminal, right? They call it Article 731, 731C, right? Are you aware that in our judicial system, the U.S. finding are not even admissible in the code of law? One country tell you that will do anything to get you hard evidences to criminalize people who believe committed crime. In your country is telling you, even with cohort evidences, that those evidences, they are not admissible in the code of law. But they'll carry another man to court and say, oh, we want hard evidences. No, you are not interested in hard evidences. You are interested in the politics of the case, because we have seen it before. The $100 million drug bust. It was 11 out of 12 jurors that decided to let those criminals to walk scot-free out of Liberia. So, like I said, the people don't have respect for themselves. Remember, you get called about in my lifetime. I don't think he's the most perfect Liberian, but I haven't seen any public official that have put their life on the line in terms of being an advocate for the people that you get called about in my lifetime. But what are the moral outrage when the government attack you get called about for saying the truth? That why a Ghanaian parliamentarian say, how can you go against the man that tried to give her a clue as to what happened in the country?
Yes.
They tell you how worthless and useless that country is. I know it must sound derogatory, but that's the fact. I don't know any fancy way to quote my words. That's just why it is. We're in the war. The people of Lofa, they sit on the border of any other region in the country. They are when it comes to in terms of priority of a risk factor. Why are they not protesting and walking to come to Moravia that they can even go on their farms?
Yeah.
And you want me to take that place seriously, bro? I had to waste my time, man. I'll stop there for now.
If you will allow me, give me 30 seconds to just add to what Monk said, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead, Julius. We'll listen.
Okay, to just highlight what Monk said, right? I am in total agreement with the fact that the people themselves are not serious. Because if you are to even discuss what is happening today, when you talk Liberia, instead of us looking in the population of 5 million people, we are talking to go back. Some of them, let me not say for the most part, they're talking about they're discussing between George Weah and Boycott. I don't see why in the world they would think that way, but it baffles me to even think that Liberian would even think to go in this direction going forward. It's sad, but that is the honest truth, and that's the reality. So I agree with you, Monk, on that part. The people themselves are part of the problem.
Great. Mr. Dishu, then Brother Aliu, then maybe I'll close on that entire stuff. Then we'll go to the line to interact with our people. Mr. Dishu, what say you with the border situation? Our president been traveling back to back. I think if assumed to be correct, either the trip would be maybe a third or fourth international trip, or maybe trip that you've been making outside when you've been meeting international leaders and so forth. But still, we are not hearing anything from our leader, from our president, as to where are we. For me, on this day, I was expecting something big, some kind of a big news to say yes, at least at long last on the unification day, we were able to reunite with our people from that border, and at least at long last, we and the Guinean government, we have one understanding, one common ground. So, but nothing. But go ahead, Mr. Tishu.
Yeah, from unification to separation. That's what I see in Liberia. Because I don't see any way that the country will be unified when the leader of the country, got the people divided. There's no way. So you want to come on, man, now to go and tell the president to unify the country when it's supposed to be his job, getting the people together, bringing up things that will unify the people. You see the divisions all over. So unification is out. Tubman is crying a grave like somebody that one of the panelists said, because that was done because of the same old talk that during our time they say the Congo people and the native people and all of that. And Tubman saw it fit to unify the people. That is when everybody started to dress in their own kind of costume, you know. So unification day, everybody was dressed in their own kind of costume, you know. That one Tubman used to wear the lapa and the coat suit. And all other countries, they used to wear what their country had to dignify them as a country in their dress wear. So that is particularly out of the question right now because we are far, far away from it. Other things that is happening, the president keeps traveling. I mean, we keep on spending the taxpayers' money on the people trips that are not bringing in any fruit towards the Liberian people. I think I put into the chat room a press statement from the executive manager stating that we're going to go into the electricity deal with one company from Nairobi. So I went and I did a check out of this particular company. And I saw that this is a big company that is selling wholesale electrical appliances. And in the report from the executive management, they were telling us that these people coming to do construction of electrical things in our country. And I want to understand how can that pay in when everything is talking about this company is about wholesale. And what is written from the executive management post telling us that these people coming to build infrastructure of electrical things. So they will have to make that clear towards the Liberian people because all of us, most of us, when we see these things, at least we can do research and know about the companies that come to our country. On that particular research thing, you see 0 employee, 0 this, 0 that. And I got concerned. What have the Liberian people been put into again? Is this another scam, my people? Is this another scam? Openly, they don't know that people can Google things and try to find out the truth. That's why I stop at a particular time for the traveling business.
Wonderful, thank you, brother Ali. What say you? We stay around the same border wahala, even though today is Unification Day in our people. Yes, they are saying
Okay,
that
but
there's many things happening. But go ahead.
this border issue we have been talking over and over, and to today's date, we all know our people in Lofa County, how they are living today. We know, like during the war, our parents, everybody get a bundle, they pack your load. Even when you're sleeping, just in case of anything, the moment you wake up, you take your bundle and you start going. To see today in our own country, in Lofa County, where our people have been displaced in their own country, their place of birth, where they were born, where they were having their farms, and in the morning they go on their farm. That was their only source of income. And to see today people have invaded our land, these people have been displaced about 33 towns and villages, and the government is not transparent enough to tell we the Liberian people who are led to another people invading our land. Today, even you're the journalist, if people have been challenged, you can't go there to do any covering, they will go after you. Like one of the spoon journalists is on the run. So it is like what Yeke Koluba said, the president already agreed that that place belongs to Guinea, and he can discuss it with the senator. And this is why today they can't say anything about it, because this is a government that talk about transparency, accountability, all of these things. Why is it today if President Bwaka is from Lofa County and his own people have been displaced in his own country, and other people have come and invaded his land, and he's not transparent enough to tell his people what is going on, and he says nothing about it? If he cares less about his own country, his own people, then why much more about we, the other people from different
I
countries?
know, right? From other part of the country.
Yes, you see.
Well, a point of correction though, Ali, he's from Sierra Leone, according to sources.
Okay.
But Sierra Leone still share border with Lofa, so either way, they all related.
Gentlemen, let me say something real quick. I know it will make some of you laugh, but this is very important. There's people then that have been displaced right now in Lofa County, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you ask them right now, you say something about Joseph Baga right now, they will support Joseph Baga against you because of tribalism. Simply because of tribalism. They can't let they even their own existence, key to question. They care less about that. They will support Baga against you now because of tribalism. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Okay. No. Sekou, please do us a favor. Break that down. When you say because of tribalism, is it because it is dominantly Kisi people that reside in that area?
Let me tell you something.
Thank you. Break it down for those of us who are not educated, brother.
This is the place that is the Kisi region. The part of Guinea that is connected with it is predominantly Kisi people. The whole region is called Kisidu. The south of Lofa County, maybe south of Nimba County, or it could even be bigger than that. It's also Kisi people there. The south is connected to in Sierra Leone. It's also Kisi region. This is the reason why there was a church in that particular place that Joseph Baga came and told the church that this church, all of us from this Kisi region, whether Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia, we are grateful to this church. This church was the reason why Islam did not expand in this part of Liberia. So it's predominantly Kisi people, and Joseph Baga being a Kisi, that's why even if you look at a lot of people right now working in the Liberian executive mansion right now, when you listen to their English, they speak like Sierra Leonean. They speak Sierra Leonean English. They speak Creole. And Joseph Baga speaks Creole better than English, regular English. So, I don't like to go to the other side of it, but Joseph Baga himself, when he got the government job, the first building he built was in Sierra Leone. He came on and said that, the first school he went to when he became president, and that school he went to, and he went there. He took uniform with the people there in Sierra Leone. So Joseph Baga is not really shying away about his origin when it comes to Sierra Leone. But imagine if this person, this was a Musa ability went to Zelekore, also where in Gegedu, and say this where I came to school, my first visit as president, trust me,
It will be World War
the
Three.
heavy will have been broken. Say, why we make Guinea man our president?
President,
But
yeah.
now there's no
Yes.
problem. There's no problem making
Yes.
a Sierra Leonean man president simply because he's the Kisi man.
Yeah.
So, when he said, Lofa, so to clarify, Lofa, to clarify, it is because of the Kisi settlement in the whole region connecting Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. Even imagine Melbourne and Monk, when the people fought among themselves, Kisi people versus Kisi people, Liberian people, other Liberian in Liberia started attacking Mandingo people. You know, because I get connection with Guinea. Forgetting to know that that portion of Guinea is all Kisi.
Yeah.
That portion of Sierra Leone is all Kisi. But simply because once the land of Guinea is mentioned, that only Mandingo people they know about that. Forgetting to know that the whole border, that whole
That was
foreign
shocking,
border.
oh, Mr. Karen. That was
What?
very, very shocking.
Yeah, so
I wanted
that
to
whole
ask some-
foreign border, Melbourne, that whole foreign border is the Zelekole region is connected with Pele people all the way to Kandomo. The same Pele people that live in that place, Bonkan, the same Pele people living in Liberia, in Guinea. On the other side, from Zelekole region, all the way to JK, all the way to Ganta. The Mono people that are there, the same family people. The Una River dividing them. The same people that live in JK. The same Mono family that are there. When they cross, they come to Liberia, the Liberian. When they cross, they go to Guinea, the Guinean.
Exactly.
But when Mandingo men who are born in Liberia, they say the men are Guinean. So it's similarly.
I wanted to give one point.
Yeah, so let me just conclude. So similarly, we got the same thing going on. It's in Ivory Coast, where the Guyo people being part of the other side in Guinea, in Ivory Coast, the other side in Liberia. When they cross in Liberia, the Liberian. Imagine that guy here, that guy who is the senator now. That guy can go to in Ivory Coast and get 3,000 Ivorian Guyo people to come to vote for him in District 5 in Lofa County, in Nima County. But it's okay. So Liberia, we just have to reconcile with ourselves, understanding that the whole tribal thing is not going to help us. Even if Liberian people get up today, say they want to fight against Joseph Boakai for what's happening to the people in Lofa County, they will defend Joseph Boakai simply because the men are Kisi men and they are Kisi.
No, Sekou, let me add to just what you just said in the ending part. We should all be cognizant of the plan of these people. You put into account that they realize that the Nibanians have been winning, and the Nibanians had the populace, and Nibania were a big country and all of that. I believe it's that pattern that these people are trying to pick up. Because if Thomas Fowler, who is not part of the Unity Party, saying that he formed a special group to support the president, President Boakai, at his age, he might be about 86, which you know is not normal. And to the fact that other groups within the House and the Senate, the Lofians are putting themselves together to become as one. So that statement that you're making, that even though the people go in and tell them the truth, they will say they're there for Boakai, is because they have indoctrinated the people's mind to the mindset that this is the time for our country to be on top. You don't see how the Nibanians have been doing this thing here? Huh? You don't see it? So it's about time that we get ourselves together, regardless if we want to be president or not, but we should put somebody from our country. So this thing is becoming dangerous. It's becoming more dangerous from the fact that it's shown in every angle. And then people are talking about it, but these people are closing it because they are masters of propaganda. You know, the 60,000 Burkina bees that have been reported that in Liberia, the people are not talking about it. We have never heard anything from the president nor the government side about why the people are there, and no reason given. No people are there suppressing our Liberians that are born there. So this is something that we talked about the leadership again, that is the president actually running a country that he believes a Liberian living in? Or is he running a country that he believes that he controlling the foreigners and they can do what they want to do, and he's just there to impress the people as a leader? These are the questions that come to my mind sometimes, because it's hard for me to think that from our time that we will have 60,000 of foreigners into our country and have not been questioned. It had never been a time that Guinea and Liberia had that confusion on their late days, their late time, 2026, when they think when that barrier had been set up years, way before even Joseph Boca was born. What is the cause of us not telling our people the truth? That's why I stopped to.
Mark, I see you. Maybe you want to add up quickly before we go to the line. If you want to say something.
Yeah,
quickly
let me just
before
come in 1 minute. I mean, I listened to the question Mr. Dishi asked. You know the reason the president should have informed us and he chose not to, and then in the same time, he went after Yeke Koluba. So why would you expect him to address the nation now? Because if he addresses the nation, then it means he only cut himself with Yeke Koluba's situation. Then it means he further implicating himself when it comes to the one who committed a crime against the state. So he assuming that you can just keep quiet and overturn the thing with phase out. Nobody will ask questions. Matter of fact, we don't stay focused on one event anyway. Maybe over a couple of weeks, a month, everything will go away. But the situation Sekou just narrated, the whole theory is it just tells you that we can never get a better leader with the party identity, especially between the Unity Party and the CDC, the tribal politics, and not only tribal, it's regional now. That's what makes it even deadlier for Liberia. That because of tribal sentiment, people will prefer risking their own safety. Can you imagine? It's one thing to just vote on tribal land, but it's another thing for your own national security and your safety to be at risk, and yet you still choose to play tribal politics for your man that is in power. So it tells you that no matter what, we're never going to get results from the ballot box because it just won't happen. All the possibilities they are taking off the table, you just cannot get that kind of a result from the ballot box, because if we're not voting regionally, we are voting on the two major party identity or tribal sentiment. And when you get all those vices leading the voters or decision making, then it becomes impossible to get the real leader. It just becomes absolutely impossible. But I'll stop there. Anyway, you can take us.
That's good. So let's go to the line to interact with our people. So 0770203125. That's the number. Let me go to this first caller. David King, good evening. Yes, no better go ahead.
Yeah, this is David King. I do join you on a regular evening. Hey, if we think that we'll get anything on this Apaga as a Liberian, then we're missing the mark. Because the folks do not care about this country. If it's a Apaga, will start to build all the agreements around here that he wants from there. And today when we talk about it, people are condemning all the time. We have to talk about it. And these are the same voices that is spoken here yesterday. If you see them going after Mariah Yepla, it's going to become Mariah Yepla can always remind them about some things that they did when they were in the opposition. And today they are in the free position. They don't want people to talk about those things or the same thing that they did yesterday. So, Joseph Waka will continue to lie to the people. Now the president was saying there's a queue, $6 million in legislative deal. Or the police spam meter and Sakuma and one of them. But on the contrary, it is just something that is a show. They enter into a deal with an electricity company that is responsible to supply these things. And maybe like we're going to be paying $6 million to them. But it's bringing the distraction to change our mind for the whole issue. The other party is very happy and they are giving them money. Thank you.
To this caller, good evening.
Good evening, everyone. This is Mamu Silva calling you from Brazil. And I just want to throw light on just three things. One has to do with the Liberia-Sierra Leone border, and the other one has to do with the reconciliation in Liberia on Unification Day. But really, I just want to just make it very clear. And you know that I always say it and I always going to remind the Guinean government
is beyond what you and myself we are every day discussing on why they occupy Liberian territory or Syrian territory. They are basic concern. You know, when you are a criminal, sorry for using that word, you always think of another person that want to steal from you. That man came into power by military junta. He has suspected 2 dissident forces to have been in Liberia. The other guy, the talking one that surrendered him to them. We hear that they kill him. The other guy also, he was in Mofa. He has that fear that that guy has going to Sierra Leone. It is a military measure, security measure that he's taking. So it has nothing to do with probably you and myself. And any attempt, he's almost like a kind of child that even echoes the other people talking to him. He's just a kind of what we call fuck out. He doesn't want to listen because he wants to maintain a grip onto power. That is the key things that is really trendy that probably maybe none of what we are discussing. Then all of us to come with unification. You know, unification in this country, most of the time is just there on the paper. But really, if you find that really people want to really unify, there are so many things. Some of it that Sek will talk about today. There are some there that AV talk about. There are some there that are you talking about. The fact of the matter that these fundamental things are not being discussed, and there are even some that they didn't even discuss. As though they are not attacked, my brother, we're going to be having Shore every year our unification day. Can we have a ceremony?
All right. Thank you, my dear brother. Let's take other people to this call. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor, and good evening to your fellow panelists.
Yeah.
This is the voice of the common board chairman. I'm TOP really, and this are joining from people who are representing concern and for justice. Labor reconciliation, let me just honor this regime, the particular relation we honor. Let's forget about reconciliation. Maybe we'll talk reconciliation another time. You know, after listening to all the panelists' discussion, one thing that came to my mind is I thought we are, persecuted from this occupied. But then this regime has just reminded us because somebody said in the past that the country will go to another level and we'll draw it back. You know, we thought we were never going to be having the kind of discussion again, which one is witchcraft. But then if you draw some people to power, people who believe in that kind of ethno central fickle things, always have the kind of ethno central fickle argument around the corner. We thought we are past this level, but sadly, we draw to power or travel bigger who's a regionalist, he's a sectionalist, he will deal with people for a region, he will deal with criminals for his circle. So the whole thing about travel and whatever thing is united people around with freedom.
All right. Thank you. How are you, Samuel? Good evening. Hello? Well, I don't know what happened to your line, but if you're getting us, then that's it. But keep your calls coming 0770231225. That's the number for you to call this evening to be part of the Sktv show. Have the say here this evening. Today is National Unification Day. What's happening to us as people? How come we are heavily divided in this form of manner? So this call, good evening.
Good evening, good evening to the panel.
Yeah, my sister, go ahead.
I suggest that the unification day it should be erased totally. Because more unity in the whole country. Therefore, the country is no secret, the country is divided. There is no secret. Our unification day, ever have any progression that we have?
No.
To put people together, to put people and say, to have say that round table. Nothing like that. So, I just want to thank you for the discussion. I will not get there, but all the talking you're talking, still, can't see no improvement.
Thank you. How are you, Samuel? My brother, good evening. Hello? You go on the highway, you eat car, or you so kind of or maybe you want to back or what? Yeah, hello, my brother, where are you? Today, other day, you say in the market, what are you, if I wait to in the market?
Let me further respond
What the mechanism about what? Yeah, go ahead quickly about the mechanism about what? About bringing in people to come and vote. About that thing, our common thing, and people can come from even from all the counties that alone the entire end there, so that people can come. Amen. I thought the video won't respond to. Mm-hmm. All the major war around the world is about land. You are forced the people to love their family land. How you expect for them to be to accept the unification message? What was the unification message to those people? And even to the poor, granted more granted. They are given that God for me of police brutality. What was the unification message to them? All those people who lose their head broken down. What's the unification message to them? That will make them to feel far that they are part of this country, that they can unite with other people who are living their cultural zone. If you are part of that, you make more homeless. When you want them to be united with you, then you talk about unification, if that will be united. The one always says, using the word is quite different from applying the actual meaning of the word. The one they are happy. People want to school a new word, but the actual meaning of the word will not be applied. They rather have a meaning. All right, thank you, my dear brother. Let's take I think 1 or 2 more calls, then we'll cross over to our team because of time. Hello? Yes, my brother, go evening.
Thank you, man. You were doing that thing and just keeping at home for keeping you practice. I woke up in the morning, somebody told me to go to I was angry. So what we should do, this is very simple. Why should we have a local unification here and this? Because that will be separate for we are not going back. It's really a question of but the entire family of the church today for unification day. The answer tomorrow or Monday. Will be going to the court, judicial will be there, looking will be there, they will be three judges of one another. So there's no new how to bring that and why you have to say just listening of all time. Some of all that will do our there also. The fact is that the country, the president is not better for to unify this country until I don't know. That happen.
So the problem always coming from the leadership, right?
If you have a story in your heart, your family in your heart, and they are not friendly, who's always very free? And I know there's a family member that when you say your uncle children, your father children, they're not friendly, who's always very free?
It's the father and the mother.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, the father and the mother. I don't know what happened to our father and mother, but to this caller quickly, go you play.
Yeah, I'm calling from Grand Pastor. I'm James here.
Yeah, thank you, James.
Yeah, you're saying it right. For our men, not looking at to be right because all I know, everything you will say, they have feel and I for your plane.
Exactly.
People will not care for all the talk you're giving. You don't care to change. People will never change because the king will want it. They want to get a put money in their pocket and to go and send a children to good food. The other poor people children suffer. But the resources that God gives, if we only then that will let you, but
because most of them, in fact, they have more than 2 to 3 passports. They have diplomatic passports. They will leave us here and run away, my brother. You're right.
Run away. If we're not thinking of government, they're not running government. They're running their people. You're not going to see, but when see the government, those are city, you're not catching them.
Thank you, brother.
You're going country, then you're running down somebody. The way I am running the government, you're not taking road, you're not doing nothing. Probably the banner picture and everything going down.
All right. Thank you, my dear brother. Let's get back to our team of panelists. At least, please let us have the time. Yeah, please. At least they won't. I had to tell you people that. Please accept the time. But again, I guess all of us we listen to the Liberian people, their own frustration with the government, the leaders, and so forth. The way we are, or in fact, the way they are behaving. But I don't want to carry us. Mr. Kane, yeah, you just joined us for you look like new brand man right now, or brand new man on the show. So you join. Go ahead, Mr. Kane, go ahead.
Guys, can you hear me? Maybe can you hear me?
Yeah, Mr. Kane, we're getting you. Go ahead. We're getting you loud. Mr. Kane, you getting me? If you getting me, go ahead. We're getting you.
Hold on. I was getting you, but it seems like you are not hearing me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm getting you 100%.
You have to release the Bluetooth.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank. The Bluetooth is on. So that what happened when you're using your phone, my man. I'm sorry. So what
Yeah.
happened, Melbourne? We cannot be united. There's nothing like a unification when we have a president who believe like people like Cummings then can be closer to leadership because he doesn't want to be. They want to bring the Congo people back to power. We cannot have a unification when you have a president who believes that those people who live in America they are enemy to Liberians. There's a man who said you can't come from America, you can't speak the people language, you want to be president for them. There's no way we're going to have unification with that kind of man leading us. This is a man who is more committed to Sierra Leone than he is to Liberia. Then we talk about, unification. And people who supporting this man, they are not supporting him because this man loyal to Liberia or this man cares anything about Liberia, but simply because what they are getting to put in their pocket. Until we Liberian can pull Liberia first, we'll never be united.
Thank you. Julius, yeah?
Milburn, thank you, and thank everybody else for being on here. Let me, Milburn, let me close on this note. We must start thinking outside the box. Think outside the box, challenge ourselves, and push for what we want. I watched today Mr. Alexander Cummings' appearance at the African CEO Forum, and I thought to myself, what are we looking for? Economic development? Are we looking to hopefully raise the conversation about the economy? And if so, why are we always doing things in reverse? I'm purposely pushing aside the issue of unification to address the issue of the economy. Milborn, the young people want job. This unification thing will come to reality when the young people are employed. We should not be given the job of a doctor to a mechanic. And that's what we continue to do. The idea is simple. We look at a mechanic and say, because you are popular in the community, the people loves you, so we are going to give you the job of a surgeon on our favorite kids. How does that make sense? I don't get it, but we continue to go in a circle. When you listen to world leader talk, they talk about economic development. And when you have the opportunity to find someone in the middle who is a part of that conversation, like Mr. Alexander Cummings is today in Kenya, discussing the economy and how private sector development can impact all of Africa, the continent. Guys, I'm sorry to say, man, I think we're wasting our time on a President Boykai who will continue to travel out and listen to narrative. And vast majority of the conversation, it will have to be interpreted to him. He's not listening for himself. It will have to be interpreted for him to even understand when it comes to the economy. But we're not looking to see how we can actually push in that direction. We are just keeping our young people in abject poverty. It's sickening. Thank you all. One of you guys can go. I think Milburn walk away from the microphone, so one of you guys can probably go.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like I said, I think 2 weeks ago, Mr. Kumi had a 1 hour rather 1 hour interview on OKFM, and I said President Boykai still get 3 more years. Now I think he can do better if only he can just take his time. He listen to like 1 hour interview with Mr. Kumi on OKFM. And call his officials around him and listen to some of this policy and thing, and just decide to go back. Within the 3 years, if he was innovative, developmental oriented, and he's somebody that know he has a policy to govern, and I think he can do extremely well within the remaining 3 years, because this government, they have no policy. Nothing they came with, they just came with hate. And this is why today you see the country is heavily divided. See what he did to his own brother, D. Maswesa Kimia. He went after that man and he made sure he didn't get that job. Those people to any position, he did the same thing. So you think all these people that Boakai had already heard, he able to call those people to reconcile with them? We just need to reconcile ourselves, because Boakai is not in a position to do that, to call all of these people to say you're sorry for whatsoever that happened. Okay, so we need to reconcile ourselves. When you listen to Mr. Kumi, when he talk about increasing the country budget, and when he increased the budget to $1 billion, what he's going to do, that budget will be impactful in the lives of the Liberian people.
Right.
You know, this is a leader. This is somebody that when he get the power, our country will move forward. But you brought somebody who worked in government for 42 years. He knows nothing about government. He has no policy, nothing, no agenda. And you took the presidency and gave it to him. This is where we are today. It is so sad. This is an issue. You can take over.
Yes, I listened to Lofa, listen to your analysis on everything. You can tell that we actually need a new form of government. Everything that's been said tonight have been symptoms of failure, and it's shown vividly, and we see that people's lives have been deteriorated through the kind of system that they have set up now that is running the country. And I wrote an article about the acceptance versus sovereignty in context of Liberia critical border dispute with Guinea. In that, I tried to emphasize whether we had a pivotal role or whether we have sold our sovereignty because this is territorial disagreement. And as the tension escalates, whether Liberia must decide whether to accept the current circumstances or assert it as a sovereign state, and we have to be doing it decisively. The government role in informing the public and making well-considered decisions in the interest of this country and its people had never been crucial till now. Why is the Liberian government hiding the information from us? Why are our people not going back to the normal lives at that border, the market open and all of that? We see flags still flying from on the Guinea territorial side from Liberia, and we see a whole lot. And we still question ourselves, why have we put ourselves into? Oh, yes. The answer is that the people are gullible and their mindset have been trained into the way how they vote. We on the other side are trying to change their mindset. We are trying to create different avenues, giving them factual things for them to think deeper. But the problem is that they're only thinking from the surface point because their people are destitute to the fact that they are hungry. And they believe we on the other side, we cannot support them directly. So they're in direct contact with these bad leaders and influencer people that keep turning the good side to the bad side. So until we can be able to convince them, which I know is going to be hard. It's going to be really hard because they have been inducted into a mindset of not returning to good thinking, but to be followers. So until our people get out of slavery, I believe we're going to be at this stage. Good night, Liberia. And I ask that you all think better and think deeper because you're facing it, we're only talking for you. But if y'all cannot be proactive into what we're seeing, we are not against you, we're not against the government, but we are trying to put the things right for our children and our grandchildren to have a better life. Because, well, I have realized that I seen that my grandchildren will have nothing like Liberia. Everything gone. Everything gone. I have to find a different means of giving them a future that they will not be thinking about the bad happenings in Liberia. That's what I have to say tonight. Good night.
Well, for me, I have a different take. I don't think we are ready as a country. Our people, the vast majority, I know there are Liberians out there that want the best for the country, most especially some of the folks in the diaspora and other parts of the world. But the reality is that number is very minute compared to the vast majority of the population. And in the democratic process, we got to go with the way of the majority. That tribal sentiment will be there. That regional sentiment will be there. If people can put their own safety and security in exchange for tribal sentiment, what make you think they will walk into the ballot box and make a better decision for the country? We saw what happened in Nima County, the second largest county in terms of population in the entire country, how they voted. It was strictly on tribal land. So the idea that we got a political leader who got idea, who background fix the office of the chief executive, it's not going to work. We will not get results from the ballot box. I can 100% guarantee you that, because we see it every day. We see it in special elections. We see it in the people's attitude. When the country or half of the country can decide to turn on a guy who a parliamentarian from another country cannot even figure it out. How a country even do that? What make you think on election? Yeah. Or men from different countries that knows nothing about our culture or way of life. It even confuses even the ECOWAS parliament to be like, how can you go against the guy who is giving you an idea as to what happened? What make you think 3 years from now something will magically happen for people to go and make the wrong decision? It just will never happen in this current dispensation.
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but can you read Say Gonkano's comment and include the response in your comment, because I think you're in our direction. The last comment from Say Gonkano, he spoke.
Go ahead. I'll tell you. Go ahead.
No, Mark. I was simply saying, can you read his comment and just include a response? And because he said,
"Oh yeah," he said it's a cyber issue in every country. Guinea would do the same. Nibayan and South Easterners are doing the same. So he justifying exactly the case we are making here.
Exactly.
So it fits into the overall narrative. You know, say Gonganu, he's just another agitator. He always take the opposite side of everything that we discuss here, and I think he can do it on purpose. So for me, I don't even pay attention to his comments because I know the reason where he's here for. I don't know whether he on the rescue team or he see his identity, but he just here to agitate every day. Some people, I don't respond to their comment because if you must have been on social media for a long time, Lofa. Right. So when we see this thing happening, we know exactly who's behind it and how they operate. So for me, I don't give them any attention. The time is too limited to be wasting my breath on say comment. But anyway, thanks for the day, guys. I mean, it was nice being here. Lofa, thanks for showing up today as well. I hope we see you often because you always been here to
is Abraham still there? Abraham?
He been gone for a while. I don't think he's been like
somebody on the other side, right? I'm seeing. Was that Steve?
No.
Maybe we don't see.
You have
because I'm seeing another person. I don't know who that person is. I'm not seeing it too clearly.
That's Mayborn. You have Mayborn. You have yourself.
No, you can see in the back. You got administrative privilege. So maybe someone trying to come back.
Yeah. Anyway,
nobody there, Mr. Cullen. I think that Mr. Tishu is in there, but I think so far it looks
okay. No, I didn't know Mayborn was still there. Anyway, yeah, Mayborn. So I think that's it for today. You guys did great. Yeah, we'll make sure we keep coming in every now and then. Even when I'm busy, I'll try to show up and be a part of the show. Yes. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, there definitely is a need for us to continuously support the platforms. Like I often say, I don't look at it from a Lofa perspective, Lofa Julius perspective. I look at it from a Liberia perspective. Even if it's a CDC dominated platform, when I feel the need to be a part of it, I will go there. And anywhere I feel the need to go, it's about Liberia. It's not about me as a person, but Liberia. And if I feel my presence will make impact, you will see me there. Thank you.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you, Lofa. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. Good night from our end. Yeah, we see it again on tomorrow by the grace of God. Good night.
Okay.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here the premise of them. So welcome and life with African.
a lyrical
Master.
Play body so make you I can't Sktv benyo. Say my journey tina get I say my jamo. And you no money emu aye yo. And you love emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle rather lofa and grandbaza.
And I dine ya to money, and I sadia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I sadia ya to money. And I wanna play ya do money, and I could do ya do money. And I forget now ya do money. That's the TV. And I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya do money. Yeah. Oh.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle rather lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Penku, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.